Hi everyone, it's Elaine Hamilton. I wanted to talk a little bit about the use of AI in personal growth. I know it can be an ethical issue for some people, so I'm really only talking to you if you are interested in starting to look at how AI can help to guide you and give you and guidance. I want to use very carefully here as well. This is the whole point of this video, is to help you to uncover certain things, but it's not like the guidance that we can often fall into when we go to see other people and seek advice. So I don't suggest that you use AI for advice and then give all your power away to whatever comes back. What I'm talking about here as much more like brainstorming. So what I mean by that is that when you, and I'm sure many of you have tried this already, you type in raw or you speak raw into whatever AI you're using or the issue. So it's like, wow, 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 this happened and that happened, and this person said this and that person said that. And, wah, wah, wah. And the great thing is that you can ramble on and the AI will kind of help you to bring it into some form of summary and identify core issues that you're talking about. And this is where it's very helpful because when we go into our defense and we go into ego mode and we go into he said, she said, all this stuff, it gets very confusing for us. So then when you just put it all out there, and this is really the kind of helpfulness of a friend or a counselor or a therapist, is to help us to pull out what are some of the themes that are going on to help us get to the root cause. So what we're talking about is using AI to help us very quickly get to some deeper issues that we can then put in and get more information about. I am not talking about the way that some people are using AI, which is just to kind of hand over all autonomy and authority and just absorb whatever is coming back, because remembering that it's simply reflecting and pulling out information based on what we're saying. Okay, so sometimes that mirror can be extremely biased, and this is also what I found out when I was playing with different ones. So I play with ChatGPT, I play with Gemini, and I play with Claude. For me, Claude is a dude. Is definitely a dude. Mansplaining everything to me. I can't get on with it. That's me. I know for a lot of people, they find Claude much more succinct and probably more matter of fact than ChatGPT. I agree. ChatGPT is all like, "Oh my God, you're amazing, you're amazing." And sometimes that's also nice. But again, I take that with a pinch of salt. The one thing that I do find, I actually prefer Gemini for this, weirdly, because I feel that it gets to the point and can be quite quite direct. And I personally like that. So, but I would say it's a good idea to play around, copy and paste it into a couple of engines and see what you get back. Now, what you're looking for might be as simple as validation. That can be very helpful to start you just feeling a bit more like, okay, I'm not going crazy. I'm valid in my feelings, because sometimes being valid in your feelings can help you to just get to the next level, right? Okay, this is a real issue. I'm justified in feeling like this. But to just leave it there, as I said in my last video, just opens you up to being needing validation for your feelings over and over again. So what we want to do is we want to move past all of that into the crux of the matter, like what's the real juicy thing. So if AI is coming back, it's all very well for AI to come back and go, yes, you're totally justified feeling like this, and this was what was happening, and this person was bullying you, or this person was abusing you, or this is emotional abuse, or whatever. Well and good. Great. But so what? So what we want to do is we want to get into the nitty gritty. So as you are writing all this stuff, that the AI prompts at the bottom can also be quite helpful because they kind of say, well, do you want to look at this, or do you want to look at that, or do you want to look at the other? Notice where your energy feels propelled and notice what you're asking. So if you notice that your energy keeps on being propelled towards more justification, more validation, more like I want this machine to tell me I'm justified, to validate my feelings, and that is you're looping around that, make me feel better, make me feel better, make me feel better. Unfortunately, and that's kind of what ChatGPT psychosis, right? And they say sometimes we get so involved with our AIs that we just lose all perspective, and wherever it goes, we go. So this is about taking a step back and noticing where your energy is trying to put you. And is that energy, this is where the logical mind comes in, right? Where is your impulse? Is it to keep blaming, keep being in victim, keep needing justification? Or are you interested when you see this stuff? Are you interested in tools and techniques to help you? Okay, because I noticed this in myself. I was like, okay, let's have a look at the tools and techniques. And when the tools and techniques came up, I was like, I'm not doing that. It was really funny because then you're like, oh, okay, so I'm holding on to something here, right? When you get some perfectly good tools and techniques to help you release something that you're holding on to tightly, that is a pretty sure bet that you are the one still holding on to it. You're not ready to let it go. It's not really a them problem, right, anymore. It's a you problem. You're holding on to it very tightly. And so that again, you put it in, right? So you say, oh, I noticed that when you gave me all these tools and tips, I was still hanging on to it really tightly. Can you help me give some uh shed some light on that, shed more understanding on why I'm still holding on to that? So it's important that whatever you feel coming up for you is you are honest, you name it and you put it in. And I guess the good thing about doing it in AI rather than in therapy is that you then can be very honest. Like there's not really that much shame or guilt talking to a machine versus talking to another human body that you fear might judge you. I mean, that was certainly my experience, as I feel weirdly, I can be so much more honest to a machine. Like I could just pour out whatever into into my chat because all the machine is doing is it's taking my truth and giving me reflecting back things that I can do. There's no judgment. There's no judgment there. So it's a very free flowing thing if we're willing to really be honest with ourselves. So that honesty comes from really checking in. When you're typing things in, the first one is just a rant, obviously, but then as you start to hone the direction of the conversation, remember you're honing the direction. You can see with the prompts, it'll often be like, okay, do you want more of this? Do you want more soothing? Or do you want solutions? Or do you want to find out more information about certain things that they've talked about? So that it's quite directed. And if you notice which prompt you're aiming for, it will start to give you more information about yourself and your readiness and your reluctance to really break things open or to work through things or whatever. This is all information for you. Now, this does require quite a high level of self-awareness, which is why I think therapy has still very much got a position to play in our lives because sometimes we're just not ready for that real deep honesty. We might not be there yet. We might not have done enough personal work yet to really see our mechanics. So this is all a work in progress. But if you have done quite a lot of personal growth work, then you will notice that AI is an amazing tool because it will spark things. So what I notice is as I'm writing things and it's giving me feedback, there are some things as I'm reading it that is provoking a very strong emotional response in me. Like, this is true, this is right, I feel so seen, I feel so understood, that kind of reaction. And there's other things that I'm reading that I'm like, no, not quite. So even in that, in getting a prompt response is very, very valuable because you can look at it with objectivity. So this really requires discernment because otherwise you just, it goes haywire pretty damn quick. But if you have discernment to really be checking in with your body, what is it saying? And how am I responding when I'm reading? How am I responding towards truth or towards defense or towards like not so much? And then the things that you're really responding to, that's where to keep going. So then you're like, okay, this sentence, say more about this, or how can I understand this more, or how can I release this more? And so when I said in my last video that I ended up just writing lists of all these so-called secrets I thought I was holding and then ripping it up, that was actually from Gemini. Told me to do that. And I was like, okay, let's try. Honestly, it was great. So the suggestions that come when you just try them out, right? Do they work? Do they not work? If they don't work, okay, nothing lost. But sometimes they work really well, and then you start to notice the mechanics of what's going on. So I think the discussion around AI is always around how we're using it and not the AI itself. So if you remember that AI is simply taking your it's taking your information and it's scanning through all the database of therapeutic whatever that it's got in the background and then handing it back to you. So it's like a super savant therapist. However, and this is really important, that unlike a therapist, so a therapist will not just blindly agree with you. And I think this is something that's kind of important to realize about AI is it is the ultimate people pleaser. It's not really going to push back. And if it does push back and you push back, it's going to back off, right? So it's built to keep you engaged. AI is a marketing machine. It's very important to understand this. It's like your algorithms in social media. If you start pausing on certain things, I'm sure you've all noticed this, you'll get more and more and more and more. So it does tend to bias us more and more, which is why when you're working with AI, particularly around your own personal growth, it's very important to be checking in with your emotions and what you're asking the AI to reflect back. Because it would be very, very easy for you to go into full victim mode and the AI just keeps on going, yes, you're a victim. Yes, you're a victim. Yes, you're a victim. This will go on ad nauseum. That's not personal growth. So personal growth is about getting to the root of the matter, whereby you're not interested in the machine validating you. You're interested in what kind of little solutions or what the machine notices about your patterns of behavior. These are super, super helpful. So when you do a whole rant, blah, 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 and what I've noticed with ChatGPT is it's very good at saying, well, I understand you're feeling with this, but it could also be, if you separate out your emotion, it could simply be that this person was saying this. And it's like, yeah, that's right. It gives you a different perspective. And it might be hard. You might be going, I don't want you to say things like that, but it's the truth. So the different AI machines are built slightly differently. So they do tend to come in with different information. That's why I say it's quite helpful to jump around a little bit and just see what is best for what. But the core thing is do not lose your discernment. And it's the same with everything that we say, right? AI is simply a very knowledgeable database and good at pattern recognition. So it's noticing your patterns and then it's regurgitating stuff that might or might not help you. Then it's up to you to decide the direction you're going to go in. And ideally, with personal growth, we're always going in the direction that challenges us. Okay, so when it challenges you, when it says something like, okay, you can release it by doing that, and you're like, no, I'm not going to release it, then be honest. I'm struggling to release it right now. What else? Right? And so you dig and you dig and you dig and you dig. And what probably would have taken you 6 months in therapy can now take you like an hour. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. And for someone that's quite new to AI, I've been quite resistant because of all the ethics and environment and all that kind of stuff. I have to say, I'm still struggling with that, but it is one of those things that is now coming into normal life and it's here to stay. I've also been around when the internet first came on. I had my problems with that as well, and mobile phones, social media. I mean, when you get to my age, I think my generation, more than any other, has lived through such an enormous shift um, that you kind of take the next thing almost in your stride because you're like, well, this is the next natural thing, right? It's here to stay. So if it's here to stay, then why not use it to your advantage and use it sanely, safely, like everything else. So the personal growth is about you guiding your own personal growth with awareness, not blindly following what anybody else says, what your therapist says, what your guru says, what the books say, what AI says. That's just another one to add to things not to just blindly follow. Same basics, right? The same foundation is you never lose sight of what your body is telling you. So you're going with what's happening in the body. Is it opening? Is it closing? Does it feel the truth of it? Does it feel a bit resistant to it? Right. And then you work within that. So the idea is you're always checking in. Does the body feel freer? Does it feel more open? Does it feel more resolved? And if the answer is yes, then you're going in the right direction. Right. And if the answer is like, feeling a bit weird about this, then you're probably needing to dig deeper, right? That's not quite the solution, or whatever is being told to you is not accurate for you. And so these are all part of the discernments. It's all part of self-awareness and growth. Um, and for me, anyway, I've noticed that using AI to help me crack things has been pretty enlightening for me. I'm definitely going to keep using it. But as I said, with a lot of discernment and a lot of curiosity. It's all fun, all fun. So maybe this helps, maybe it doesn't. If you'd like me to say more about that or talk about processes, then I'm very happy to do that. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.